Hey, how's it going, guys? Hope you have an awesome day today. Oh, what we got in the chat? We've got Wonderbar. That's an awesome name, by the way. Yonel, Mario, Aaron, Scott, Yonel. What's up, guys? How you doing? Not alive without one of the Marios in the chat here. Yeah, I got you. That's funny. How you guys doing? Oh, it's been a pretty busy day for me. So this is like literally the first time I've looked at the charts today. I just drew a couple trend lines. That's about it before jumping on the live. But let's take a look and see what we got. It does look like, based on the 4-hour support, and we got 2 touch points of resistance here, we might be getting squeezed against the fact that we're kind of trading against the 200 EMA as resistance, 201 hour. And so we might coil up and squeeze against this, have a low volume for a little bit before having a bigger move soon. So I'll take a look and see what the liquidity looks like so we can get a good bias, and we'll see what the order books look like to see if certain areas are being guarded or not within this structure. Can you explain the red and green diamonds? I have the indicator. Oh, you have the indicator. All right, cool. So the indicator is looking for confluence in the cross-reference symbol that you've chosen. So the default is the crypto cap against the USD dominance. So if it's looking for, like, I'm still relatively new to this indicator, but it's looking for confluence within that area to give you an idea of when to prepare to sell or to buy, and you use that in confluence. Mario YO, the one that basically came up with the idea for this indicator, he uses it in confluence with order blocks. If he sees it, he might have other rules as well. I'm pretty sure he has other rules as well. But that's like a really good rule you can add to seeing a green diamond or a red diamond. One thing that I have noticed on the 15-minute time frame is if you look for tweezers, like a tweezer reaction in the chart, and it happens the same time, like here's one right here. The same time you see a red diamond or a green diamond, take the trade. Like it's always a really great move. I haven't back tested it yet, so when I say take the trade, don't actually take the trade. Do your research first. But I'm gonna back test this. I want to see what the win rate is. Might add another rule or so, but if you get the tweezer reaction on the 15-minute time frame and a diamond, from what I've seen so far, here's another one. They're pretty incredible. So I'm gonna create a set of rules, and it might be a 2-rule strategy. And if I can get a 2-rule strategy that everyone can get a really good win rate on, another one right there, right? Tweezer reaction, crash. Tweezer reaction, pump. Tweezer reaction, crash. They're pretty intense. So that's what I would recommend, doing backtesting based off that. It's pretty intense. I'll let you know if I come up with any rules and what the win rate is and what the profitability is of that strategy, and I'll teach you guys it, because it's pretty simple. The only downside is it's going to require you guys to get the indicator, and there's a cost associated to it. But it's early access, so it would be cheaper to get it now rather than later. Let's see. But so far, let's take a look at this structure and see if there's any merit to this trend line, because there's only 2 touch points to it. I cut through the tweezer because of lack of price acceptance, so we can get a different slope. Otherwise, the slope would be more steep. But I'm going to look at the order books and see if there's any confluence going on around this area, if people are preparing to sell here. So let's do that right now. So we got, slow this up. What about the lines to the right? The daily naked point of control. We'll take a look at that too. So we have a couple sell walls on the sell side here. We got a wall at 59,490, relatively small. It's about 200 Bitcoin. And we've got a bigger wall here for about 400 Bitcoin. 450 at 59,790. So let's look at 790. I want to see if there's any confluence there. So 790, grab this trend line here, coordinates 59,790. So that right now we have people preparing to sell 450 Bitcoin here. BTC, sell wall. Okay. Okay. So that's currently in confluence with the downtrending resistance and the value area high, but time is a factor too. So if we're going to get to the sell wall for it to have that confluence of the downtrending resistance and the value area high, if we're going to be guarded by this downtrending slope, then we're going to have to maintain this current momentum that we got until we hit it, lose momentum, and then get a good short. I recommend usually after the change of character, or if you're an SFP trader, off the SFP in that zone. But what we're looking at right now is we're combating local POC. So we might not get there in the same pace that we're going right now if we do get there before losing momentum and coming back down to the value area low. So right now we're in like a no trade zone. Let's see, or at least a high risk trade zone. Not the way I trade here. And that's the area where you want to pay attention to for a drop to the downside towards the value area low. So if you're in a long down here, this is like your last straw for staying in it kind of thing. If we break that, we'll likely continue going down back to the value area low in confluence with the uptrending 4-hour support right here of this white line right there. But yeah, there's not very big analysis on that. But if we look at the daily, I want to show you something that I've noticed. We're starting to create a descending broadening wedge. Let's see, macro. I've only got until 5, by the way, guys, so I don't have very much time. So we got this structure right here. We got about descending kind of broadening wedge structure through here. These typically break to the upside, and the target isn't very dramatic, but it's the top side of the structure. So where these full bodies are basically. And along the way up, we're going to have to be concerned about, well, the 200 EMA, it's going to have to be broken before we get the chance to do that. And that's about the neckline of this horizontal resistance. So if we get above that, then I'd say we'll hit that target, no problem. We have the structural value area low as a barrier, and we have the 50 daily EMA, but there's nothing going to really, I can see us waking up and hitting that technical target. No problem. So if we break, let's see what we got in the lower time frames to see what so we have this structure here for the confluence of that move. So this is like the confirmation structure. If we break this, then we're likely going to hit past the measurable move that would be used to being able to see of a structure like this. We'll probably surpass it and hit that descending broadening wedge target, which was that was at 61,700. So that, we'll probably, yeah, it's about in sync with that. 61,700. That's not that bad. That's just not that big of a move. And the 4-hour 800 EMA there too. So probably struggle breaking past it. So I'd watch out for that being a potential barrier if people take profits off the reaction of that move. It'll come off the squeeze. And we'll look at the liquidation heat maps and see what kind of bias we have. We just recently grabbed some liquidity today. Kind of missed out on that. But right here, when we hit this previous value area low, this was an area that we marked with high liquidity. I think it was like 250 million worth of liquidity. We got the 20. Yeah, so we got some local liquidity grabbed there. Let's go to 3-day. Yeah, we grabbed most of it there. We have some newly added liquidity above us and some older liquidity there. But you can see, like, if we're looking at the heat maps on the 3-day, the bias is definitely long. We got a lot of liquidity just hovering above us, around 60. So if we get in, yeah, we might not hit that measurable target if we can't get past this, because this could be used as exit liquidity and drop us right down. So 60,500 is about the peak. Let's mark that level, 60,500. It's right here. So after, interesting, okay. Let's mark that area. That's a super high liquidity zone, guys. So we got a lot of barriers. Sorry, the double, the DN. Are you talking about this, man? The double distribution POC? We've got, so what's the bias indicator? Can you explain the red and green time? Okay, I gotcha. All right, so that's pretty much it for the TA on Bitcoin. So we're just currently in an uptrend watching this. We're going through this momentum through here. We're currently combating the local POC for the structural zone right here. And we have a lot of people preparing to sell at 59,790. So I think if we manage to maintain this momentum, break through this daily 200 EMA, then we'll likely lose that momentum. And we'll have the opportunity for the daily 2 EMA to act as a form of support and maybe get that continuation and wipe out people who are entering their shorts a little proactively. So that's one like bullish case scenario. The bearish case scenario is like we hit this EMA, we might not even make it there, to be honest. We could lose momentum like off this POC and come right down and hit the value area low and then maybe have a continuation up. But I'm just saying that based on like the current sell pressure wicks that we're seeing right now against the daily, the 1 hour 200. We're not even breaking past that. And we're seeing some like red diamond confluence and bearish divergence right now. So we might come down first before going up. But if we do manage to maintain this momentum, we'll have to eat through this giant sell wall first. And that could cause consolidation before we move up. Can you look at HBAR, please? Yeah, we can do that. Look at HBAR. Mario's gone for a week, and I didn't get the chance to get a detailed review of the indicator. Well, I'll master this indicator. There's not that much to it, but I'll create a video on it. That way, it gives Mario some exposure for his indicator, help him out because he's been helping out the community quite a bit, and at the same time, everyone who gets the indicator will be able to learn from it by watching the video. All right, cool. So let's look at HBAR for Wonderbar. Wonderbar going off HBAR. I wonder if we have an HBAR chart. Let's load that up. HBAR. We do not have an HBAR chart. I think I should make one soon. We'll look at the Binance chart. It's been a little while since we did some TA on this. Yeah, so it looks like we recently marked this as an area of interest for a stronger reversal. So HBAR is currently still inside this macro demand zone. We've been in this range Yeah, last time we were in this range, it was about 500 and such days, 560 days. And we came back in it after we had that whipsaw event during the news thing there. And now we are approaching a previous value area low as support, and we're still maintaining it as support, so that's good. Because I'm guessing since we have this area marked, it must have been last Monday. Yeah, it could have been last Monday. So with this area marked, we had this drawn downtrending momentum. That momentum has broken. So let's zoom in and see how it responded to that. So we broke this downtrending momentum here. We had a bit of a confirmation bounce here on. This is the confirmation candle right here. And we basically hit local resistance and it got slapped right back down. So we have uptrending momentum that we can watch now right here. And it's currently fighting its 1 hour 200 EMA. If you want to have that continuation, we're obviously going to have to break this local high. And based on the price action behavior, see, if we break this local high, I would watch out for this zone. But other than this, we should hit 0593 if we get past this zone here. Just got a high volume area here. We should move relatively quickly through it, hit this zone, and we might have consolidation that will tell us whether or not we continue or if we're going to reverse from here and retest that EMA. But yeah, this is the critical area where you would want to watch to anticipate that continuation if you're in on a long position. You could just as easily act as resistance too, so just watch out for that. It's a bit of a supply zone, but there should be liquidity trapped up here to help bring it up. But in confluence with this area here at 0.592, just watch how the 4 hour 200 EMA slowly catches up to give you that confluence resistance. But that's it. That's pretty much it for HBAR. I would love to see this thing continue off and break this level and break this downtrending momentum as well, and maybe we'll get back up to this previous value area high and just respect this range the same way we did last time we were in this area. If we zoom out a bit, so far we are. So far we're respecting this value area same way we did the last time. Just got to break that momentum, get that change of character, and you're off to the races. But until that happens, we can't really say what's going to happen next. But that's an area where you anticipate really strong resistance at 740. Yeah, 742. Anything else you guys want to look at? Hi, Kyle just pushed an update an hour ago. You can now adjust the color of EMAs in the settings. Oh, you're the creator, Heiken Master. How you doing, man? I know it. Once I saw Heiken Master, I knew that was you. Yeah. So if you guys look at the publisher, he's the Mario's friend that helped create that. But I will reset that so I can get the new colors, because honestly, I like my EMAs being the exact same color so I can train my mind and knowing like, oh, the green one, for example, is the 200. And the red ones are always 50. So if I can change the colors on this, then I can get rid of my EMAs entirely and just focus on the sidebar ones that you guys created. Pretty cool. It's always good to have less noise on your screen. Tia, please. Yeah, Maria, we can look at Tia. See what we got. TIA. Celestia. How are we doing? Well, we're below golden box, and that's usually not good. Let's see what happens. Zoom out. Price discovery. Oh, it's recently in price discovery. That's not great. Let's see what we got. It's a young asset, so when things get bearish, it's bound to get new lows. Okay, so we have reduced the pace of sellers. So this area, I marked it as I got a gold box this zone because of this demand over here. So we really badly want to hold this and not create too lows. However, if we get that third tap down here, we got that Wyckoff. So it might get a good reversal. We'll see how that behaves. Typically, you want to take the liquidity that was added, like stop losses and high leverage traders. You want to get them wiped out before we get that continuation. But there's different models, right? So you might see a situation where you might get a higher tap before going off. But this is a key area here that you're going to want to watch so you can get that strong reversal. But if you see it break this area, you're going to have to watch this downtrending macro resistance right here. And that it could be hit at any point below $7.70. So we can, depending on the pace and how we break this. Because right now we're looking at the daily. So the 200 EMA finally spawned. So we finally have a 200 EMA that we could use for this. Let's go to the lower time frames and see what it's doing. What kind of behavior we got. Yeah, we got pretty steep momentum here. We get acceptance back inside the zone. So we need to reset the indicator. Yeah, Scott, he was saying that if you reset it, there's some new setting alterations that you can do for changing the colors of the EMA. So if that's something you're interested in, you just remove your indicator and re-add it, and you get that new version. So we got a bit of a descending double bottom structure. Descending double bottoms are usually more bullish than ascending ones, meaning rather than this is a descending double bottom structure here. If we have something like this, like let's say something that's more uptrending than downtrending, these ones are actually more bullish, believe it or not. Unless this is happening on the right shoulder of an inverse head and shoulders. You want something like this on something like that. But here, you typically want that to get that liquidity grab before it gets that stronger push to the upside. So this area at $4.96 on TIA, you want that to be broken. You'll have the measurable move of, let's see, let's grab this. Here you go. You have the measurable move that brings us to a target of $5.14. Just watch out for the order block. That's pretty transparent here. And we might make our way here, get a cool down period around this area. So just watch out for that. So the behavior you're going to want to wait for, especially since this is relatively steep movement. We've just been going straight up. You don't have a very strong stop loss guard. So if price comes up, we break this downtrending resistance and we retest the horizontal resistance to act as support, and you get that higher high. The moment you get the higher high, you can get a safe entry knowing that you'll have a stop loss guard below you. And then you can target this area and you'll get like a 1 to 2. And that's unfortunately the main way you're going to need to try to jump in on, because anything else is a little bit, you're kind of late to the party for jumping in and down these low areas, but you can get in a safe continuation knowing that your stop loss is likely going to be guarded there. So that's the safest late entry you can get for that. And maybe we'll have strong continuations, and this could be a really, really good buy area to hold it for a much longer move. But make sure you're able to analyze that before assuming continuation, because I don't want you to hold your position and give up profits for it to eventually reverse on you and take you out. So if you're relatively new to TA, that's the measurable target that I'd watch out for. 2-minute SFP on Bitcoin, says Mario. Okay, we could take a peek at that. Let's see. Pull up my watch list here. Oh, okay. I don't know if I'd... Yeah, see that you got bearish confluence of the 1 hour 200 there and local resistance. So just with the behavior, it's looking like it actually, believe it or not, it's like I want to continue. Cool. All right, man. What else you guys want to look at? A risky one. Yeah, I was just thinking that, man. A little risky. But if you see the SFP, it's one of your entry rules, and as long as it has all the confidence that you need, you jump in on it. But I'm very hesitant to short so close to momentum like this. Let's see. We got no big time. We can look at big time if you want, but I'm not a fan of big time. Centaurus Ondo or Ondo looks good for me into long in the golden pocket or the 786 on the 4 hour time frame. Okay, we could do that. We can look at on Do we have an Ondo chart yet? I'm sorry if I'm saying Ondo wrong. Ondo. Okay. You said you're looking for a long? It's long in the gold pocket. So you pulled a retrace. And you said we're in the golden pocket. So if to get the retrace off of this, your pull. Yeah, it can't be off that. Unless you're anticipating for it to go lower. And then there's the other alternative. Yeah. Depends on where you pull it from, bro. A 4 hour. Oh, you're saying 4 hours. Sorry, man. Let me just pull this out here. Is that the 200 that spawned? Yeah. We finally got a 200 on this asset. That's pretty cool. There's some traders that won't even trade an asset unless it has a time factor to it. And so once you start seeing some EMAs appear, sometimes that means more traders. So we got, so for macro wise, Ondo's got this downtrending resistance you're going to have to watch. We can get rid of some of this noise up there, but we'll leave it there for now. We have a neckline structure here off of the previous POC in this consolidative zone here. And we're starting to wedge right here. So we're creating an apex off of the 61 cent area. So we may maintain a downtrend to as low as maybe even scooping up this low here. If not, then this is our core location that we have to watch. Zoom in on the lower time frames. So we had quite a bit of strong local support here that held it up for this descending triangle for a bit. before eventually losing it after we had this head and shoulders reaction to the downtrending resistance. So we might not break through this area here the first, I guess it'll be the second try. The main thing that makes me a little bullish is that we see this wick, at least on Bybit. We have a wick here that tells us there's a chance of trapped liquidity up here, and that could draw us up to grab it, and that gives this support the opportunity to be acting as support again, and we might continue off from that area and maybe give us a breakout if we have enough momentum from it. If we get the momentum, then we're going to have to watch this local resistance again, draw the price back down, and maybe we'll get the inverse head and shoulders reaction when we retest this area and get the higher high. And then we can trade off the continuation of the inverse head and shoulders from the measurable target of not just the inverse head and shoulders, but the falling wedge structure. And the falling wedge is their target. Textbook is the top of the structure. However, you always want to look for strong barriers along the way, and we can clearly see one right here. All this local resistance in confluence with the 200. So I'm going to watch that. If that ends up playing out that way, make sure you watch out for 78.14. It could be a good take profit area. That's the bullish case scenario. The bearish case scenario, we don't break past that area and we maintain this downtrend until we hit, I'm guessing, around 61 cents based on the apex. What else we guys want to look at? Why do we find out a scale paired of liquidity? Where do we find out the scale of paired liquidity of the coin to BTC? So, paired liquidity. You're not talking about liquidation liquidity. Paired liquidity is much easier to identify in a decentralized environment because you can see the dollar figure amount on places like DeFi Llama, or directly on the DEX, the exchange itself, like PancakeSwap, Uniswap, all that stuff. Or by taking a kind of a peek into the reserves of a centralized exchange. But you could use the coin market cap rating system to give you an idea of the weight. Let's go over here. I'll give you a better link opportunity for that because someone asked me that question like that recently. And what I've been mainly been doing to kind of give me an idea of what kind of influence an asset in terms of chain, on-chain reaction, like how it will impact its moves. It's just by seeing, like, let's say, for example, let's go lower market cap, like, let's do Jupiter. And this one's going to be obvious, but Solana, right? So Jupiter, we can see we have pairing right here on Binance for JUP USDT pair, allowing people to swap between the two. And you can use, they have a liquidity pairing score right here. It's not showing on the screen. Come on. If I drag this out. Yeah, it has a liquidity score right here. And it gives you an idea between 0 and 1,000 if it has a larger or lesser amount of liquidity. But it's not giving you the dollar figure amount. And the dollar figure amount is important if you're trying to do the math on the actual percentage impact an asset would have over moving an asset like Jupiter. So the more liquidity an asset is paired with, like for example, Jupiter is, if more liquidity was paired with Bitcoin, the more Bitcoin would influence the movements of Jupiter. But Jupiter has a lot of stablecoin liquidity and a lot of Solana liquidity. And because of that, Solana has a huge impact over how Jupiter moves. But Solana has a lot of Bitcoin liquidity. So when Bitcoin moves, it moves Solana. When Solana moves, it moves Jupiter. So it causes that chain influence. But I will find you a better resource other than this. CoinMarketCap's the one that I've used, and I just used a decentralized exchanges for the lower market cap stuff like PancakeSwap to see the actual dollar figure. If you find one before I do, let me know. But this is the core one that I use right now. Okay. Yeah, sorry about the SFP there, Mario. But right now we're at the 200 hourly, so we might get stopped down here. So push it down a bit. I'm not sure if you're DCAing into your position, but this is the thing that I was worried about if you're shorting off the momentum, and we just broke this downtrend resistance. So I'm still bullish until we get to about this area here. And now we have a new area that we could watch is right here for shorts, for confirmation traders. I was just literally searching you, and you can please link me the position calculator. The position calculator. Oh yeah. There actually might be in the description down below. If you scroll to the very, very bottom, you'll see a risk calculator there. And you might see if you don't, let me know in the chat, and then I can add it to the description after I'm done the live. I've got about 19 minutes left before I got to head out. But yeah, I think that it's in the description already for you. Far Side Moon says, just joking, big time is Ponzi. Well, yeah. It's low. So the main thing I don't like about big time, and it's nothing to do with the asset or the asset creators, it's just that the amount of that the exchanges that they're choosing doesn't require very much liquidity. So there's opportunity for there to be bad slippage when you do your trades. And when that happens, you could have your stop loss literally dodged during pumps or dumps, depending on which direction you're trading. And that's the last thing you want, is your stop loss just to be skipped before it starts going against you even further. Being a trade that you weren't planning on being in longer than the stop loss location, that's always brutal. What else do you guys want to look at? Kyle, would you be looking at the checkout COQ? I can do that. Let's see what COQ looks like. I haven't heard of that one. So it would be COQ Inu? Another Inu token? Let's see. We can look at it. Let's see. We got options of KuCoin, Phoenix, Bybit, BitGet. BitGet has really good reserves. Bybit has really good reserves. KuCoin's going to give us a lot of wicks. So we'll look at it on Bybit. There's no dinosaur over here, so this is not the origin chart. So we might be able to find a chart with more data. This one's got more data, but you can clearly see there's a lot more wicks. BitGet? Oh, that's even worse. That's okay. We'll chart it on Bybit. There's enough data for us to be got our lows here. Downtrending resistance. There's more macro, so let's change the line to green. The pace of the sellers here. Got a sell wall there. We start seeing equal highs like that. You can already tell that the order book's got a sell wall there. All right, that's the daily. Let's zoom in a little further now. So we got the hourly. So let's pull a fixed range of this zone from here to here. We can arguably not add that low to it. I just want to see how it respects it without the low there added. We'll keep the low. Okay, so POC confluence with the 1 hour 200. We have horizontal support here. We have evolving momentum broke. We have broad momentum here. So we have VWAP reset and some demand in that zone. So if we break this low, I'd watch this area here. If we break through here, then we'll probably just maintain this macro downtrend and hit these lows again even further. This is super, super low market cap, so be very careful. What we got? That percentage-wise, that's 23%. Yeah, super low market cap. I understand everyone's trying to make good money on these things, but if you're not careful, you can trip and fall and lose quite a bit. So the 15-minute looks pretty bullish though. So we have local resistance here. If we break this area, we can have a position similar to that. Let's go grab the that's not really good R&R. So normally inverse head and shoulders give you good inverse to reward ratio, but the we have a downtrending momentum that was just broken. We're currently combating the VWAP as resistance. And we have this local high here that needs to be broken if you want to expect this continuation. And the stop loss is pretty steep. So if you're not seeing a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio or greater, you normally don't want to take it. And the fact that the measurable target, where the area of, when you get measurable targets from structures like this, they tell you areas of concern where you start to expect exhaustion. And the exhaustion expectations in line with the downtrending momentum. So I wouldn't even if you know it's going to go up, doesn't mean you should jump into the trade. Because if you consistently jump into trades that don't give you proper risk to reward ratio, then you're going to be consistently an unprofitable trader. So just be super cautious. Maybe the structure will form a better stop loss guard than what we've got right now. But this is what the expectation is locally, is for us to get around this zone here. And if we break this downtrending resistance, if you're willing to babysit the trade, and we break this downtrending resistance, then you want to break this local resistance here, and we would have a continuation of the double bottom structure, which would give us basically the measurable target of the value area high. I'll grab that here to here. Yeah, value area high. So we might have continuations that bring us up to here, but be very, very cautious of the point of control area here. Could just easily get rejected. Don't assume structure, but visualize the potential of it. What we got? Yeah, maybe breaking out the downtrend momentum there. Yeah, for sure. I don't know anything about this asset, so if this asset has a emission schedule or a burn schedule, make sure you monitor that as well in confluence with your TA. If you see like a bullish structure and it's a burn day for the asset, then you can use that as part of your rules before entering a trade. But yeah, I got about 10 more minutes left. Anything else you guys want me to take a peek at? Looks like we got a heavy hit off of the 200. Let's see if we doji here. Maybe we'll get a continuation. That's almost a tweezer. What else you guys want to look at? Let's see. Did we look at Link? We have not looked at Link. Hey Kyle, did you answer if it's possible to share the red and blue diamond indicator? Red and blue. You might be a little colorblind. But we got the red and green one here. Yeah, so the red green one is a Shihai indicator. I will send I'll post a link of the Discord form because it's a private indicator right now. But one of the creators, Mario YO, and I apologize. What's the other name? Hike and Master. Yeah, they sent me a Google form, and I'll put that Google form down below so you guys can get it if you want. This indicator itself right now, unfortunately, it costs it's like $300 cost, but it's going to give you lifetime access to it. They plan on doing some other cool stuff with it. But the one down below here, if this is the one you're talking about, because this also gives you like dot signals in confluence with your TA. This one's free. It's Fu Manchu's. If you type in Fu Manchu, Cypher B plus divergences. Okay, what was the first asset? Link. We can take a quick peek at Link, and then I'll see if I have time for the other stuff there, Andre. So Link. Sorry if I missed any other ones. TA, it's tough to kind of cram this all into one live. We got... Well, I got a good posture. So we had this ascending triangle here. Broke to the downside. But it's just been hovering over top of this POC and hasn't hit its measurable target. The same kind of posture as that other asset we just looked at. So let's see if it does. Got one of our coaches, David. It's one of his favorite kind of behaviors before entering into a long position. We have kind of like a frying pan behavior. Got a rounded bottom. We just recently broke this local resistance with a full body acceptance here, but we haven't really broke past these local highs yet. See. Same kind of story as the other asset, though. We have downtrending momentum almost in confluence with the measurable move. Like Chainlink has a lot of Bitcoin pairing liquidity. So what it does sometimes have its own relative strength. It does its own little moves, but overall, Bitcoin's kind of boss of Chainlink's short-term moves. If Bitcoin starts to lose momentum, Chainlink will too. It looks like Bitcoin's still maintaining that momentum towards the bearish confluence target here. We just red diamond this area. Be cautious of any longs around here, guys. So we break this high, we're likely going to have that continuation. There's nothing I can jump in on now, obviously, but we have this momentum here. And if Bitcoin reaches that high around here, Chainlink might reach its local high as well. But its pace is relatively slow, so it's going to have to pick up the pace. What's the ETA on that? Based on this momentum, it's like 6 hours, whereas Bitcoin's ETA on this is about 3.5 hours. So Chainlink's going to need more volume. It's going to have that same kind of strength as Bitcoin. What else do you guys want to look at? MOG was the other option. So let's... Okay, so Andre, I got time for one of those two assets. So if you want to pick one, we can dive into that one really quick. And while you're deciding, I'll look into Raul's request on SNEK. So I'll take a peek at SNEK. Oh, wrong. I spelled it how I said it. SNEK's on BitGet. Let's look at Mexi. Ugh, I don't even know why you guys want to trade this. It's okay for an investor hold for like a longer term moves, but trade this thing is a little bit incredibly high risk. If we move the this white trend line flush with the full bodies, you can see that we're about to confirm a confirmation of this lower low. And that's the last thing you want to see, because look at the low. Yeah, we have no volume here. So if we have we break that low, we could fill this entire gap and fall right down to 3626. Let me just grab this area. So this daily candle closes in about 3 hours. We do not want to close below here. If you close below there, then what's the drawdown? You can't even trade that. So there's a 20% guard on your stop loss. So if that drops, if that confirms, it's going to come right down to as low as this area here first. That's your first pit stop. And that's just based on previous resistance. But we have, if you look at this chart, all this can be reclaimed so quickly. We can go right through that and land here. But let's see what happens, I guess. That's what I'm concerned about. It's just that lower low confirming the low there. So in 3 hours, check on this chart, see if we get that lower low closed. And if it does, then you can anticipate a strong continuation down. I was curious about from this high to this low is 60% correction and current 46. So we're covered about 15% of its drop. %. Okay. Let's zoom in the lower time frames, see what we got. If we hold this, if we don't confirm that lower low, then you can look at this as a potential double bottom recovery. But those dailies, you want to see the daily candle have all of its price acceptance above this white line right here, or as it risks a really strong continuation. When I say price acceptance, I just mean like the full body candles to be closing above here. Who cares if it wicks? So just full body acceptance up here. So just if you are someone who's interested in investing in SNEK, then it could be a good opportunity for you just to hold off and wait and get really good lower prices. Because this, I'm not a fan of meme coins, but I know that SNEK is one of the ones that's like the best on the Cardano network. So it might be a good idea if you're trying to get some SNEK and you're trying to get the best out of like $100 investment, like something super low. Because I would never recommend like high investment on a meme coin. But if you're trying to get the best of your $100, wait till this gets a little lower, because it could confirm to go much lower. And if you want to make sure you're getting on a position of strength, wait until you get acceptance back inside this value area. And you can target the value area high or the downtrending resistance. But to get acceptance back up in here, you basically want to see a break of this neckline, and then you could target, me personally, I would target like the immediate risk, which is like this zone right here right now, between the POC and the downtrending momentum. That's how I'd focus on this. Acceptance for the long on a position of strength, or see if there's going to be a reversal pattern or structure down these two zones here. Okay. And MOG is the option that Andre chose. Did we look at Solana already? I don't know if we looked at Solana. It's all starting to blend together, but I don't think we did. But we'll look at MOG, and then I got to go, guys. I'm sorry. Let's see. MOG. MOG a meme token. Okay, let's look at BitGet. So it's dancing on the 200 daily. I don't know if this is the full chart, but that's the broad momentum that's been holding it up since July 2023. And we have the evolving momentum here that was just recently lost. So it's maintained its momentum up until this point. And we've got daily downtrending momentum here. It could maintain this momentum until we hit the broad momentum, but we're at an area of interest right now. Let's zoom in a lower time frame. See, we got similar posture to everything else. Okay, so not very much relative strength, but we got broke this momentum, got the change of character during this candle here on the hourly, and now we want to see this break here to get the continuation to this downtrending daily momentum, and I'm sure that there's going to be confluence with the measurable target. Yeah, so I know the sell pressure wick doesn't look very convincing, but could have a continuation up until we hit this point. Yeah, it's holding up the previous day VWAP right now. It's not, yeah. But overall, like daily wise, if we're looking at this in a macro sense, like it's just, so what we're trying to be careful about with SNEK, when we're just looking at SNEK, we had this posture, right, where it just lost support. In this case, it's uptrending support, whereas SNEK, it's horizontal support. And it confirmed during this candle with a lower low, and now we're starting to get that continuation down, and the 200-day right now is slowing it down. So it might have a little bit of a retest to this area while in confluence hitting that double bottom measurable target and the downtrending momentum. And I think it will probably likely continue to go down. And fill some of this negative space here. That's pretty much all I got though, man. I'm sorry. I don't know much about this asset, but if it's something that it's a meme coin based on the not the ticker, but the image looks like a dog. BTC. Let's take a look at BTC. We're getting that tweezer top. Oh, we got a tweezer top reaction. We're still holding that momentum. Yeah, it's just barely holding though. I don't know if it's going to be able to continue to go up. Creating horizontal resistance. It's going to have to go pretty much straight up for the next 25 minutes if we're going to hold this. But we have a new guard, the POC guard. So anyone's in their longs. If anyone struggles with like closing their trades too early, whenever you see a reclaimed zone like this, and you're in a long, let's say down here off this double bottom or off like this SFP, whenever you see a reclaimed area like a VWAP or POC, or you're seeing structure forming, you can use structure to tell you when to like stay in or stay out. Use these areas to like help build confidence in your position. And this momentum is a really great tool to tell you when to get out, right? You're more likely to listen to the change of character or the break of structure after a loss of momentum. So the internal stuff could really scare you to positions. Sup, Alex O'Crypto? How you doing, man? Don't forget to hit the like, says Farside. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Okay. Aaron took that too. Mario only got 5% gain on a 1% of my account, but it worked out. Call it a wealth by 1,000 cuts. That's a good way to look at it. Getting the small gains stacks really well. Like a saying I say all the time to the community is like 10 1% trades is more valuable than one trade that gives you 10%, because of the compounding impact it has and the learning experience that they all give you. So yeah, get those little gains, and they're a lot easier. You don't want to fight for your money. All right, cool, guys. I got to go. 10 minutes over, and what do you got? I say collect breadcrumbs. Yeah, do you? Okay, yeah. That, rather than trying to chase a loaf, go after the breadcrumbs. That's good too, man. Yeah, anything that helps people with their... Because a lot of people try to chase after the big trade rather than realizing that the market ranges 80% of the time. So grab those range gains, catch the lows of the range, get out the tops of the range, look for the confluence inside the range. Because this is all you just got to play this, guys. Like getting these value area trades are... You can get a bunch of these, and it'll be the equivalent to the massive explosive moves that you see all the time. And we're coiling up for one of those. We're coiling up for a big move. It's not going to be as dramatic as we hope, but like this, if this breaks to the upside, we get past this sell wall, which I don't think we're going to do today. I think we're going to hit this, come down, maybe use the POC as support, and then have that continuation. But yeah, tonight I think we're just gonna hit that, get all that bearish confluence out of the way, get rid of that $450 Bitcoin worth of limit sell orders, getting ready to get out. And once we chip away at that, then we'll hit the measurable target of the daily broadening wedge and the confluence target of this asymmetrical triangle here. So it's nice seeing a confluence target like that. While also, see where this green box is? I might as well change this color to red just so it brings more fear into your hearts. But this area has remember we were looking at the liquidation heat maps, and that area has a stupid amount of liquidity. So if that is used as exit liquidity, it will drop hard. Really hard. So just watch out for that zone. And my chart is in the description down below, so you guys can look at this whenever you want. Just watch out for that red box zone. Shihai form, please. Shihai form. Oh, you're in a short, yeah. Well, if we lose this momentum, that's what you mainly want to see, the pace of the sellers. That Shihai is formed already on the 5-minute. And the 15-minute is forming. It's not confirmed yet. So maybe we'll lose that momentum. Anyone who's in their shorts right now, just good luck, guys. I hope this drops for you. If not, then watch out for that local high. We might have an ascending triangle break out and bring us to this area and then retrace. But yeah, I would have my bear goggles on between this zone here and this zone. All right, guys, I got to go. Have an awesome day. I appreciate everyone who's subscribed, liked, all that jazz. I know I'm not very entertaining, but I'm just, I'm a trader first, not a YouTuber. So I'm trying to get entertaining. Need some kind of like entertaining coach or something like that. Bring energy into these calls. All right, guys, have an awesome day. I appreciate everyone who's watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow during the trade hunting call for all the members that are in here. Probably will after the drop. Why shouldn't we have liquidity drop?